Okay, shalom, shalom, kwam yasha'Allah, koholoyimla, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bahashim Chachakadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth, and just want to say the water to all the H.I.M and H.I.M that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai to the best of their ability. This is Yachanan Nawaf. Just coming at you with another quick lesson, praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. Just a little news update. You know, when we see these little stories, we like to bring them out because the scripture says, to be watchmen and warn the flock, warn Israel, which are you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That's your true biblical nationality. And we try and let you know the day and time that we're in, man. You know, according to Romans 13 and 11, it talks about and knowing the time that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. And these prophecies that's come into play, as far as wars and rumors of wars, we have to bring that out because that's a part of, the end time prophecies that we're supposed to warn our people about. So we're just going to get a little bit of this. If you're familiar with what's going on, this President Macron of the French president, he's basically he connected with the Chinese president and trying to get Russia to, what's good? Trying to get Russia to back down off of their campaign over in Ukraine. And that's not going to happen, man, because China, first off, they understand that they have an enemy amongst the West, the so-called white man in America, and just in general, NATO, the whole NATO, EU, that whole organization of those, they're the Confederate, so to speak, the same ones that came up against Israel, the main enemy of Israel. All these nations are enemies of ours, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. But the so-called Chinese, they actually know that the so-called white man is not friends of theirs, and they understand that. So they understand that they have just as much to sacrifice or lose when it comes to dealing with the U.S., than Russia. Russia and China understand that the West and NATO want to come and take over their lands, man. Want to come and take over their infrastructure, enslave them, so to speak, and take over their resources. Because if it was up to the so-called white man, they're already running Hong Kong, basically. But they can't penetrate, China like how they really want to. And they can't penetrate Russia like how they want to. So let's get a little bit of this. It says, the Kremlin on Thursday said there were no prospects for China to play the role of mediator in Moscow's unprovoked war against Ukraine at present. So see, when you see they use words like unprovoked. See, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. That shit was provoked. Here you go. You trying to make Ukraine a part of NATO, which is right there in Russia. So you can go and set up your military right there on the borders of this man's country. That's provoked. But see, the so-called white man, they use certain words to scale down things to try and, make it seem as if they're doing nothing wrong. These people are savages. We got to do something about it. You see, it says, as French President Emmanuel Macron met with Chinese leader Xi Jinping and urged him to bring Russia to its senses. How is this man, like I said, again, the Chinese president, he understands that the same people that are threatening Russia, the West and NATO, they understand that these people are their enemies too. But this guy, he played it real smooth. I can't say that because you have to play it smooth. You don't show your enemy your hand. You know what I'm saying? He basically smoothed things over. Just by allowing this French president to even come there. He knows that this is the enemy, but he's, all right, let me smoothly play their asses. It says, undoubtedly, China has a very effective commanding potential for mediation. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said, per the Moscow Times. But the situation with Ukraine is complex. So far, there are no prospects for political settlement. Peskov said there were no other ways forward for Russia aside from continuing its offensive in Ukraine, signaling that Moscow has no interest in negotiations in the foreseeable future. So they know what's up. But see, you got the so-called white man. He's going to go through there and slither through. Well, let me get this one scripture real quick. The so-called white man, he slithers all off in there. Hey, look, we have to, it's you know, I'm gonna go further off into the story, but let's get this real quick. See, this is what the so-called Chinese man, that because their biblical name is Moab, he understands this. Ecclesiasticus, also known as the book of Sirach, chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like his iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. See, the so-called Chinese man, he knows that the so-called white man is wicked as hell, and that he doesn't keep treaties, that he won't, all he does is fucking lie. This man knows that. Don't think that this man doesn't know that, man. All world leaders know that. It's just that a lot of them have, you know, fallen for the bullshit. And that's what the so-called white man does. He's slithering through there the same way that he done Eve. The serpent in Eve slid through. Oh, you won't surely die. You know, so he slithered on in there trying to talk this man into, yeah, you go talk to your mans, you know, in Russia. I know y'all got deals together. I know y'all doing this, and this. But, you know, we need you to go and talk to him. And you know, goddamn well, they had to try it, man. I mean, you know, I know they had to know that it's more likely not going to work. But, you know, they feel like they can talk people into doing whatever they want them to do. Probably done went in, offered him some incentives. Hey, we'll do this for you. We'll do that for you. We'll do this. We'll do that. You know. We'll buy your you know, electronics. We'll buy this. We'll make deals with you. How's about us getting down together? Why don't you know, push those Russians to the side? No, it's not going to happen. Verse 11, it says, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. See, this is the way that we're supposed to be. I mean, even if you got a common enemy right on your block in the hood, you're not about to allow this nigga to just hand you a cup. You know, you got a red cup, and he just, here you go, bro. You ain't seen pour it up. You don't know if he done dropped something in it. You know damn well he hates you, and all of a sudden, he's slithering on through. Oh, man, we need to squash that shit, man. You know, in the meanwhile, it's death in his heart, man. It says, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away, because soon as he gets you drunk, well, he might just, you know what I'm saying? You know, ain't nothing in the drink. But he could just, you know, oh, yeah, man, I got this Louis, I got this, or I got that. I got this fresh bottle, man. I've been trying to wait, you know what I'm saying, until New Year's to pop, you know. But shit, man, let's squash this beat, man. We gon', you know, let's sip on this bottle and talk about some things, man. Next thing you know, you drunk as hell. You wake up chained up to some shit, man. Hey, that's the enemy, though. See, the so-called Chinese man, he understands he understands the tactics. You know, they understand the art of war, so to speak, right? Okay, it says, this came after Macron and Beijing said that Russia had dealt a blow to the international stability by invading Ukraine. No, I'm still not getting that. How this one country done interrupted everything that's going on in the world. Then all of a sudden the gas prices went up. They telling you it's because of Russia and Ukraine. The food all went up. Well, I mean, you supplying all this money to support the war as far as Ukraine. You giving them billions of dollars. Why aren't you using that money if it's really that serious, why aren't you using that money to set your own people up? That's one thing that I wanted to pull in this particular lesson too, is that these so-called white people, they don't give a fuck about their own people. So you know they're not going to care about you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We bring that out all the time, man. Y'all keep running around here calling yourselves American. Wherever you're scattered to, you're calling yourselves German, you're calling yourselves French, you're speaking the so-called white man's language, and you're joining their militaries. But look, man, this man don't give a shit about his own people. He don't care about his own people. As a matter of fact, to prove it, let me go into YouTube real quick. That's what I should have done. I should have went off into, I was just watching the brothers he's live right now. I was just watching him, but you know, the spirit hit me. I had to go ahead and get on this lesson. But let's check this out, right? Because they over there tearing shit up in France. I don't know if I'm calling it riots. Today. Let's put it in today. Because they still over there burning shit up. See? And they got this one day ago. Look at this guy, man. This is live right now. Protest Macron can't ignore. How the fuck you in China trying to talk China into not fucking with Russia, or trying to talk Russia into, you know, backing out of this war with Ukraine, and these people over here, your own citizens, is burning up the damn city, man? So that lets you know the type of mindset that these people have, man. They have that. How can you trust somebody like that? This is like a father that's done left the home with wifey and the kids in there, and motherfuckers is, is outside, just about to, breach the door, man. You see the people outside, you just leave your wife and babies on the inside of the house and run out the back door. They don't even know you gone, so to speak, How are you in another country trying to soothe somebody else when your own shit? This is what we talking about, man. That backyard, man. That's America too. America is fucked all up. But what are they doing? What the fuck is Kamala doing over in Africa, trying to talk to them about? See, what is Joe Biden doing? Going to the Ukraine and all these different places. It's all madness, man. These people don't care about their own citizens. They don't care about their own country. You see? It says, what else we can get out of here? Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. Let me see. It says later in the day, Xi called for peace talks to resume as soon as possible, the Associated Press reported. So, of course, the so-called Chinese man, hey, this is what he's going to do. He's going to talk as if he's with, I'm a smooth thing. He's just kicking the can down the road on the asses, basically. It says Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky has invited Xi to visit Ukraine and repeatedly expressed a desire to speak with them. The two leaders have not spoken since Russia invaded over a year ago. If I was a Chinese president, I wouldn't even go there. I wouldn't go there. But I mean, hey, you never can tell. Because see, he can go there. That's why the scripture says never trust thine enemy. He can go over there and they can slip something in his drink. You see? And I'm sure, they got, they're people that, test shit and look into shit before they eat and all this other stuff. I'm not sure how they actually does it. Hell, he's probably fasting the whole while he's over there. Nah, I'm not eating or drinking anything. Because he probably about scared as hell. They'll poison the shit out of his ass. It says European Commission President Ursula, and this chick right here, Ursula von der Leyen, who traveled to Beijing alongside Macron on Thursday, says Xi reiterated his willingness to speak with the Ukrainian leader when conditions and times are right. See, that so-called Chinese man, he got some damn sense. I'm not about to go over here. He said when the time is right. So what's that doing? Kicking the can down the road. I'm not going to give you no actual date as to when I'm going there or if I'm even going there, but he'll leave it up in the air where you think I'm going. And that's the way to play it. I don't blame him. It says the French president and EU chief visited China as the West continues to warn Beijing against providing Russia with military equipment as the war in Ukraine rages on. So China can't give Russia military assistance, but America can give Ukraine military assistance. So it's really hypocrisy, a bunch of back talk, double speak. That's what the so-called white man does. You see? It says China has claimed that it's neutral in the Ukraine war and unveiled a peace plan in February on the one-year anniversary of Russia's invasion. Western governments have largely met China's peace proposal with skepticism. See? So the so-called white man don't trust the so-called Chinese man. And the so-called Chinese man, I'm pretty certain, I'm about 100% that he don't trust this so-called white man, man. Come on, man. It says, let me see, where was I at here? Let me start right back here. It says China has claimed that it's neutral in the Ukraine war and unveiled a peace plan in February on the one-year anniversary of Russia's invasion. Western governments have largely met China's peace proposal with skepticism, particularly given the plan does not call for Russian troops to withdraw from occupied Ukrainian territories. So they want this man to just act as if, come on, man, one of America's main so-called enemies, he's about to bring peace for you in another nation? These fucking people are out of their mind, man. Beijing also tends to side with Russia on geopolitical issues because they know that they have a common enemy. You so-called white people. You so-called white people in your EU and NATO and all that shit, the West, hey, they understand that we have a common enemy. Because Russians Them nothing but Edomites too. They're so-called white people too. They're no different than the so-called white people here. They're just a different tribe of them. You know, they got a different mindset because that's the spirit that the Lord has placed on them. You see what I'm saying? The Lord has placed a spirit of defiance against this Babylon the Great place, man. All that wickedness, all this freakiness. Y'all wanna change the children and doing all kinds of nastiness throughout the earth. That one tribe, but see, those are like manly Edomites over there. They're not all effeminate like these ones over here in the Americas and your French and these ones that's got these butt naked ass statues and, you know, calling it art throughout the cities and stuff like that. Your Greeks and they're not like that, man. It says China has claimed that it's neutral in the Ukraine war and unveiled a peace plan. Oh, we already got that. Beijing also tends to side with Russia on geopolitical issues, and the two countries announced a no-limit partnership last year. Okay, so that's pretty much about all we need on that. That's pretty much about it. You know, I just wanted to just go off into this for a hot sec to let let the flock know about where we're at with this, man, because I don't get why this guy went over there. Neither on that EU lady. You know, if you've seen her, if you've ever seen her, you can just see that she's completely wicked. She just looked like she get up and just eat baby ass cheeks along with some waffles or something, man. Pouring syrup over them in the morning or something, man, with some, a coffee cup of blood or some shit. She just looked like something wicked, man. Anyway, but this is a perfect example of never trusting thine enemy, you know, and I can pretty much wrap it up right there because that's pretty much overall what this is. You think this so-called Chinese man? I peeped this guy, man. You know, and Russia's president. Those are pretty worldly wisdom. Those are some pretty wise guys, man. But here you go. You got somebody like a fucking Joe Biden. He's allowing he's just his whole cabinet just nasty. Whole cabinet just you feel like you need a shower after seeing these motherfuckers on TV. You know. Here you go. You got manly men that's doing manly things as far as leaders, but here in the Americas, you got some. Come on, man. Anyway, let me keep it classy. But you see what's going on. But this is a part of the end days prophecies, the wars, rumors of wars that the Lord was speaking of when the disciples asked him. You know. Matter of fact, let's just go into it. But look at this look at this world, man. His whole country is falling apart. And he's somewhere in a whole nother country. Look at this shit. This right here is going on a day-to-day basis in his country, man. But he's in another country trying to talk to another world leader about going to suck up to another world leader and telling him to just get him to chill. You know, get him to chill. You got Finland just joined NATO. So now they're able to go into Finland and just put all kinds of weapons right on the man's border. You think he about to stop this war in Ukraine? You think China don't know about this? China got the same situation going on with them as Taiwan. America trying to, and NATO nations trying to hold down Taiwan over there, which is a part of China. So China got the same enemy. It don't make no fucking sense. But hey, it is what it is, man. The so-called white man, that gameplay that he's been pushing. He thinks that shit still works, man, and it's not gonna work, man. It's just not gonna work, you know. But let me just grab that, because the scripture says, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And you got this Romans 13 and 11 up already, too. I should pull that. I know we in Isaiah, Salakia. But let's get this, this Matthew. Chapter 24 comes out all the time. I bring it out almost every day. I'm going to keep on doing it too. As long as Yahweh Shem Yahushua give me breath and we're, you know, being watchmen and focusing on these issues at hand that we need to focus on and bring out to the flock, man. Matthew 24 and 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am the Christ, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. That's the point right there. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in divers places. And all those things are happening. Then you got the uproars of the people. Because I'm telling you, look, if you go on the news, if you just been peeping or check out the news, these people over here in France wilding. Because you know why? The so-called white man wants these people to work an extra 2 years. You know, they pushing the retirement age up 2 more years. So they want you to work your damn self to death. Just when you thinking you was about to be able to retire, this motherfucker want to add on 2 more years to your servitude, so to speak. And this guy obviously doesn't care, because I'm telling you, they've been going ham over there for the past month. 2 months damn near, I'm thinking. I'm not sure how long, but they setting shit on fire every day. It's disrupting business. It's disrupting the economy. You know what I'm saying? But you think this guy cares? He's about his agenda. That's how you know these people are being picked, man. These people are not about their people. You have to be somebody that's picked by the elite to not give, because obviously this is not what the people want. If they wanted it, they wouldn't be over here rioting and doing the shit that they doing. So as a leader, you would say, you know what, the people don't want that. Let me back off of that. Well, you know, because you're supposed to be servants or servicing your people. Or at least that's what they'll lie and tell you. But we all know that that's a fucking lie. All these countries, man, it's all about the elite and what they want. And they're pushing these governments to enslave the people, man. And we see it. So with that, hey, I pray that this lesson was edifying. Kwam Yashala.